Hi, everybody. So I want to talk about the densities today. So the first density, and this is physical stuff, okay? So the first density is basically gas. It's where the elements begin to form, okay? And then the second density is where the elements are hard, like they're big and they're slow and everything is moving slowly. And there's very few animated beings in second density. I did get that the Sasquatch or Bigfoot was from the second density. And I do believe there are fish in the second density and maybe some other animals, but mostly it's rocks. It's slow moving stuff. So when you think of the Sasquatch or the Bigfoot, when they're in their own density, they're moving like a sloth. That's why they like to come into third density, because they're very fast. So just kind of think about that. That's second density. And then third density is the biggest part of where, like, the biggest chunk of learning happens. And that's because there's so much polarity. And what is a third density person like? Like, what do they behave like? This is coming up a lot. And so I just want to explain it more. So somebody who is third density, they've come out of second density, and now they're going to learn how to be a human being, right? So they've got about 100,000 years in the third density. And what are they doing with it? First, they're quite selfish. So when they come in at the beginning of the third density, they're selfish because they're learning. They really have to focus on themselves, right? And they're also very focused on the physical world. So if they can't relate to, the inner world that we have going on, then they're at the beginning of the third density, because they're not ready for the inner world yet. They're only using their five senses. And these are the people that are more focused on, what do I look like? Does my hair look good? Does my car look good? And I need to have these things, even if it hurts someone else. So more selfishness is going on at the beginning of the third density. As someone grows and becomes older, let's say they're 50,000 years into the third density, then they're going to become more magical. They're going to know more about the inner workings. And they're going to be more and more focused on feelings and how other people feel and how they feel. And the selfishness will begin to fade. So that's upper third density. Then we're going to get into fourth density. So fourth density, a lot of it at the beginning is chaos. So you have the lower fourth density, which is basically a chaotic plane. And it can be very scary. And this is where a lot of the ETs that have been controlling this, area where we're at, they have been lower fourth density. So they're scary, but they realize that they have power. Okay? So when you're in the third density, you don't really know how powerful you really are, But when you're in the fourth density, you do. You realize your power. Now, I get that the fourth density is about 300,000 years. So once you move into fourth density positive, which is where we are going, okay, the Earth is moving into fourth density positive, and we have been experiencing a lot of fourth density negative. So if you look around, the chaos, that has been fourth density negative. But now we're moving into fourth density positive, and we're manifesting that to happen. So this is the first time, as far as I'm aware of, in the history of this universe, that we will ascend in our bodies. Okay? So we're going to go from a third density body to a fourth density positive body. So the crystalline body. Okay, so we're going with the Earth into fourth density positive. And that is where the love lives. So that's where the Jesus group came from. And if you don't know what that is, then you can go back into the hidden history videos. There's a playlist, and you can learn about the Jesus group. But basically, Jesus knew the vibration of love. And that's why he came to basically help elevate the vibration of this place where we're at. Okay, so that's fourth density positive. Fifth density is more organized, less chaotic. It's more manicured. It's like beautiful buildings, fantasy nature practically. So like long, endless green fields of grass and animals that are very kind that you could walk up to and pet. Fifth density has almost no chaos, but there's still a hint of the warrior in the fifth density. So that's where the Palladians come from. And everything they do is elegant in the fifth density. And that's where the crystal cities begin, is in the fifth density. So they know their magic. And they use it. And they manifest. And the fifth density is just a beautiful, calming, happy place to be. It's only when they go into another density, like they are now, fighting for us, that it's more chaotic for them. But they still know what they're doing in comparison to the 3D and 4D. Okay. So then we're going to move into sixth density. So sixth density, the body is more etheric. You can almost see through it in the sixth density. The beings are angelic. They're very old. And I don't think I said, but I think the fifth density could be pushing like 1,000,000 years. And the sixth is even longer. So what happens in the sixth density? The only buildings are buildings made of light. So these are organic, crystalline cities that they live in. Everything is done in a soft way. And the beings that come from sixth density have a much harder time understanding this world that we're in right now. And a lot of times they've had illnesses or a lot of stress. They don't understand what's going on here. They're very kind, beautiful human beings who don't really get this world. They don't understand money very well, the concept of money, because they haven't had money for over 1 million years. They haven't had to use money. And they're just focused on consciousness. And they have projects as well. But these projects are about consciousness and caring and love and joy and enlightenment. Okay? So then we're talking about the 7th density, which when I talk to my higher self about the 7th density, it's more of a non-physical plane. So this is where you're just a light body. So you're a light body basically floating around and communicating in a completely different way that we understand. So it's almost completely unrelatable to anything that we know on this plane. But the 7th density is basically the top at this point. I think there will be an 8th density eventually. Feels like it's kind of getting close. But I just wanted to explain that. So when you meet someone or you have a family member, try and think about what qualities do they have. And then you'll know what density they came from. And then you can relate to them a little bit easier. So I just wanted to share that. And I hope it helps. And you guys have a beautiful day, okay? Bye.